Have you ever met the connector? Well, he ponders, he helps, he creates, he writes, he speaks. He basically connects people and brings them together. I speak about Paul Solano of PS and All Marketing Group. At psandallmarketinggroup.com, you will receive an assembled group of Paul's contacts and connections that cross into many sectors of life. Please contact Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com if you are in the market for a wide array of services. Again, please contact The Connector, Paul Solano at 617-240-4130 or psandallmarketinggroup@gmail.com with any questions. And now, here's Paul Solano, the host of Paul Ponders.
Welcome to #Paul Ponders. I've really enjoyed bringing you fun, informative, intriguing, and pondering podcasts. Many thanks to #PodPro Entertainment. Today's collaborating sponsor, Scott Albertson of #Project142.org, Riverworks Credit Union, NMLS number 410564, and Remax Renaissance Realty of Reading. Thanks for listening, rating, reviewing, and subscribing. Let #Paul Ponders begin. Greetings and welcome to another episode of Paul Ponders. It is really, truly an honor to have the recipient of the National Italian American Hall of Fame, Massachusetts chapter, Tony the Champ DeMarco Spirit and Achievement Award winner, and a member of the class of 2005 National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame, Massachusetts chapter, legendary Hall of Fame Coach John DiBiaso. Take it away, Coach.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Italian American Sports Hall of Fame for this prestigious honor. I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. DeMarco in 2005 when I first was inducted, and he was a fantastic gentleman, achieved so much in the field of athletics, and was such an inspiration for all other Italian Americans in this area. So to be a recipient of this award is really a great honor.
That is great, Coach. I thank you so much for being just a great Hall of Fame coach. And your career has been so illustrious, and it spans over 43 years. And you really have, in fact, just pretty much done it all, as they say. 16 Super Bowl titles. Let's hear about that.
Well, I've been very fortunate, Paul. I've had a lot of great players, some fantastic assistant coaches. In fact, one of them's been with me for 40 plus years. Michael Milo was with me at St. Patrick's, Weston, Everett, and now Catholic Memorial. So I've had some great assistant coaches, been lucky enough to coach some great football players. You know, a handful even made the NFL. Many played in college, but, the bulk of them went on to be fine gentlemen, husbands, fathers, contributors to the community. Not everybody's going to go on and play in college or make the NFL, but I'm proud of each and every one of them. So I've been fortunate. I've lived a good life, and I've got a wonderful wife and two fantastic children who've been by my side the entire time.
That is absolutely fabulous. Now, if we look at this award that you have, in fact, received from the NIASH, the Tony the Champ DeMarco Spirit and Achievement Award, Tony the Champ DeMarco was, in fact, the welterweight champion of the world. And I remember, Coach, us talking about this before this podcast, about the determination, the drive, the concentration, the motivation, the mental discipline, and focus that the champ really displayed to reach his level. What has it been like for you in your 40-plus years as a coach?
Those characters that he exhibited, uh, they will help you become successful in whatever field you choose to go into. And he was an inspiration, as I said, for Italian Americans in the Boston area, because as you know, Paul, growing up in this area, we sometimes get the short end of the stick to the Irish. And but when we get a champ like Tony DeMarco or Rocky Marciano, or we get a great athlete like Tony Canigliaro or Rico Petrocelli, the Italian Americans in this area are very, very proud of those people. And, just to be mentioned in the same sentence is quite an honor.
Now, when I think of all the students, all the players you have interacted with throughout the years, um, what what's the number one thing you tell the players and the students?
I tell them that if after 4 years playing football in our program, if they are, first of all, I tell them athletics is not the number one thing, and academics is not the number one thing. Athletics is number 3. Their academics is number 2, but by far the most important thing is to be a good person. And if they, after 4 years, if we can have helped them in any way, enhance their character and make them, as I said, good husbands, fathers, and eventually grandfathers, you know, that's, I'm doing my work that I should be doing. And I feel that, we're successful.
I do applaud you for those great years, the Super Bowl titles in football, but also too, and I think it's kind of I won't say it's underrated, whatever, but you actually have some basketball championships or some great appearances in tournament play under your belt.
I was fortunate. I coached Everett High School for 36 years as the basketball coach. We went to the Eastern Mass Finals a couple of times, lost in the state championship to one of the best teams ever, Travis Best in Springfield Central. But we had a lot of success over the years. We made it to the Garden 3 times, won a bunch of GBL titles. And, at the end, lo and behold, we had 500 wins. So we're very proud of that as well. And again, I had fantastic kids, great assistant coaches like Paul Bertone, who was with me forever. You know, I was blessed. And again, my wife was with me every step of the way. And I can't thank her enough.
That is absolutely fabulous. If we think back to the 2005 honoree class of the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame, you were, in fact, right spot on in your acceptance speech for the football and the basketball, but really as an educator and just working with the students and some of the players that you've had both in football and basketball have gone on to play professional sports. If you want to highlight some of them.
Again, I've been really blessed in basketball. I was honored to coach a kid named Pat Bradley, who went down and played at Arkansas, broke the SEC 3-point record. Another young man, Shannon Crooks, went on to be the captain of UMass under Bruiser Flint. John Sagarino, who went on and started Bentley for 4 years. I was very fortunate that the kids that I got to coach, one of the basketball players who was my point guard actually went on, now he's in the NFL. Isaiah Likely plays tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. Mikey Sanders still is on the Washington Commanders. Jason Maitre, the Miami Dolphins. Trying to think there more. Louis Sean played for Minnesota and the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. Omar Easy, going back to the early 2000s, played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Diamond Ferry played for the Arizona Cardinals. So I've been very, very blessed with the kids that I've had the pleasure of coaching, and a lot of them have done very well. And some of these CM kids, I think, down the road are going to also play in the NFL someday. So, it makes it a lot easier when you have talent like I've been able to have.
From past experience, when I was doing some fundraising at Malden Catholic, I was always raising money for the athletics program, playing in the Catholic High School Conference, the Division I conference. And you are the head football coach at Catholic Memorial and all. So tell us about what it's like to play for a private school in such a very competitive conference.
We're by far the smallest school. We have about 450 boys in our school, which is very small. By enrollment standards, MIAA standards, we're Division IV enrollment-wise. We do play in Division II in the playoffs, but our regular season schedule is mostly Division I schools. We play Xaverian, St. John's Prep, BC High, along with St. John's Shrewsbury, Malden Catholic. And we've played some great non-league games since I've been there. We played Springfield Central. We're the only team in recent memory that's gone down to Florida. We played Cardinal Newman, who was nationally ranked. We went down to New Jersey this year and played St. Thomas Aquinas. We went out to Buffalo and played St. Francis, which is the number 2 rated team in New York. Last year, we played the top rated team in New York, Cardinal Hayes, out of New York City in the Bronx. So we've played some of the best teams. We play at a high level, and being such a small school, it's been really inspiring that we've been able to compete and done very well. It's been very refreshing for both my wife and I, going from a big public school with maybe 2,500 students in Everett to a small school with only 450 students. Everett, we loved Everett. I grew up in Everett, still live in Everett. My children went to Everett High School. But, sometimes a change is good. And as you get older, they say downsize a little bit with your house and, different things. We downsized a little with the school we worked at.
Now, entering this past season, or actually entering this current season, I believe that you had 373 wins. And, of course, the 16 state championships with Weston, with Everett, and with Catholic Memorial. This makes you the winningest or close to the winningest coach in Massachusetts, if I'm not mistaken?
Coach LaPochelle out at Northbridge has 400 plus wins, and he has the most of anyone ever. And he's done it all at a small school in Central Mass, Northbridge High School, and he's won numerous Super Bowls as well. So, it's an honor to be second to him, and there's a lot of other great coaches that have won 300 games. So to be included in that exclusive club of 300 plus wins it's something that I really am proud of. And, I've been blessed. My career's been blessed, and I don't intend on retiring or anytime soon. I still enjoy getting up every day and going to football, going to workouts, and going to school. And my wife is the same way. So we're young at heart, and we continue to keep going as long as God blesses us with good health.
I do want to give a shout out to your son Jonathan, who is a star at Everett High in his own right, but he is actually the quarterbacks coach at my alma mater, Boston College.
Yes, he's doing fantastic. He's a better coach than his dad would ever be, and I'm so proud of him, as I am of my daughter, who's more in the artsy field as a writer and film. So I've been, again, I have two wonderful children, and it's like choosing. I tell people, they ask me what Super Bowl means the most, and I said it's like choosing between your children. They're all equally important and rewarding, and you love them all the same. And you know, again, I've been very fortunate. God's been very good to me, and I'm very lucky to have the family I have, as well as the teams I've been able to coach. And I had wonderful parents that helped me out. My dad was a coach, and I was on the sidelines growing up as a little kid, just like my son Jonathan was on the sidelines with me growing up. So
What a great, great tradition there. So, how many years did your dad coach?
my dad coached first in Everett, and then he coached actually in Chelsea. So when I was a young boy, I was the water boy for Chelsea High School. So as you can imagine, growing up in Everett and going to school in Everett, rooting for Chelsea was not too popular. But I remember they won in 1963, and then they won in 1966 again. They beat Everett 2 years out of the 4 that my dad coached there. And I actually have the game ball from 1966 downstairs in a trophy case with some of, the Super Bowl game balls, along with my son's game ball when he broke the state record for touchdown passes. So it's been a great ride. Again, I grew up around football. Every autumn, I still get that itch. I get that feeling, first cool breeze. And, football has been so much a part of my whole family's life. And we still get excited on Thanksgiving.
That is awesome. That really is. Now, I do want to ask you a question, and all this is, Paul Ponder's moment and all, but this is really something that I am very interested in, where I do, in fact, receive mailings from supporters of Boston College, and looking at the college scene and how it has, in fact, evolved with the name, image, and likeness, NIL. How has that really affected or impacted your players, your students who are looking at going to college one day, going pro? What are they saying to you about NIL?
Well, I honestly didn't have much experience with it. So my advice to them is, you have 4 years of college. Get the best education you possibly can, because someday your athletic career is going to be over. And going to a school and not getting a degree, even though they gave you $100,000, that $100,000 is going to be gone like that. But your degree you'll have forever. And I actually coached a kid that went to the NBA, and he left after his freshman year. And now he's out of the NBA. So, you got to go to work at some point. And, I wished he had stayed and got his degree, because I think it would have helped him in his next 40 years of his life, rather than looking at it, from the viewpoint that, I'm going to get this money now and it's going to last forever. Because as you know, Paul, you go through money real quick when you have a family and you get married and you buy a home, or you got to pay rent and you got bills coming in. That money disappears really fast. So that diploma and that background and that education never goes away. So I encourage all of these kids to go back to school, make sure you get your degree, so that you can get a good career after athletics.
That is so, so true. So well said. And as we start to wind down, it just, this whole podcast, this whole presentation, and the experience of you being the recipient of the Tony the Champ DeMarco Spirit and Achievement Award does not surprise me, because you really exude, if you will, determination, drive, concentration, motivation, mental discipline, focus, and hard work. So as we start to sign off, Coach, what are the words of inspiration you want to let our future leaders of tomorrow hear from you, the Hall of Fame Super Bowl title coach for Catholic Memorial High School? What do you want our listeners to hear?
I would tell any young person, whether it be male or female, pick something that you enjoy and that you're passionate about, and pursue your career in something that you truly love. Because if you're doing something that you enjoy and love doing, it's much easier to get up in the morning, go to work, get up every day, and get through the pitfalls that life is tough. You're gonna go through difficult times. And if you're doing something, like I said, that you really enjoy and you're passionate about, it makes it a lot easier. And, I still love what I'm doing. My wife loves what she's doing. We live a dream life. And I say this all the time. Every September is like going through my senior year of high school all over again. And we all love our senior year of high school. It's the best of times of your life. And I go through it every year for 43 years. So think about that. You know what I'm saying, Paul? Think about that, going back and having your senior year reoccur 43 years in a row. It's pretty damn good life. So I might not be the richest guy in the world. My wife and I, we don't have a ton of money, but we've lived good lives. We've supported our children. Our kids have gone to college. And, we've enjoyed every second of it.
Amen. Well, Coach John DiBiaso, I want to thank you for being Paul Ponder's guest. And again, congratulations on your tremendous honor. And I thank you, and God bless you.
Paul, thank you for having me. And tell Davey Caiazzo, those two guys are coming that get the hits off him. And they still say they can hit him. They want to go down Glendale Park. They still say they can get a hit off him. So we'll see. Thank you so much, Paul.
I love it. #Indeed. I trust that you have enjoyed #Paul Ponders. Again, my name is Paul Solano of PS&All Marketing Group, and I may be reached via email at paul@paulponders.com to do some more pondering. Many thanks to my longtime collaborative friend and associate, Chalonzo Amos of Pod Pro Entertainment, in bringing you our fun, exciting, informative podcasts. You rock, Techie Chalonzo. With PS&All Marketing Group, I created a side gig to connect you and get things done. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me at paul@paulponders.com with any questions. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Paul Ponders. Follow us on Twitter at Paul Ponders Pod. Follow us on Instagram at Paul Ponders Podcast. Thank you again for listening to #Paul Ponders, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, paulponders.com, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Subscribe, stream, rate, and review our shows. Your ratings and reviews help our show reach new audiences. Produced by Pod Pro Entertainment, #Paul Ponders lives within a network of podcasts located at podproentertainment.com. #the new radio. Until we meet again, my friend, stay well. #Indeed.